Welcome to Heavy Metal Expeditions. This is my attempt at Rob Walker's Vinyl Tag 2023. It's 20 questions created by Rob Walker. Let the music play. I want to say thank you to Rob. I have watched many of the replies, and I've really enjoyed it. I also think I will probably be the last person to reply, since we're already well into February. So I will probably be doing this just for my own amusement. Here we go. So the first question is favorite new release of 2022. I didn't really buy that many new releases in 2022, but the one I'm about to show you I think is a really good album. It's the band El Perro, and the album is called Hair Off. It's very energetic and uplifting psychedelic acid funk rock. If you want to try it out, you could start with the last track on side A. It's called KMT. If we go into favorite reissues of 2022, that has got to be the artist Everlast with the album Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. This was an album that was originally released in 1998, and it's just a splendid album. I'm so thrilled that I got it on vinyl. So we move to, I can just show you the vinyl. It's a two-disc vinyl. So now to question number 2. I just have to consult my notes here. There's a lot of work in this. So the last band or solo artist that I saw live, I actually went to a small blues venue, Mojo in Copenhagen. I don't have any records from the band that played. That was a Ken Lending blues band. And before that, on November 10th, Dr. Music and I went to see and hear Opeth in the Grey Hall, Den Grå Hal. This is a concert venue with room for around 1,500 people. It's placed in the Freetown Christiania in Copenhagen. And the warm-up for that on that concert was Voivod. Due to fatigue, I did not stay for the entire concert, and Opeth was, as always, really good. One of my favorite bands, both on albums and live. I'll just show you one album, and this is the album Watershed. If you're unfamiliar with Opeth, you might want to start a little bit later in their career. This is kind of in between. They started out as a kind of death metal band, moved into some more progressive, and they have become even more progressive as they have aged. Really good band. Highly recommended. This album, Watershed, is a reissue, released on 2 black vinyls. This is what they look like. Nothing special about that. Question number 3. Their first album was the best. I have to go with Dead Kennedys, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. It's just an album I keep returning to. I also like their later releases, but again, this I think is their best album. Please let me know if you disagree. This is a reissue, unfortunately, that comes with a poster, kind of booklet poster, and a replica of the cover for the single Holiday in Cambodia. The vinyl is just a black vinyl with the Dead Kennedys logo on the one side and then the track listing on the other side. Question number 4. That question is hat trick. Show the vinyl, CD, cassette of an album. I don't have any CDs or cassettes, so I'll skip that question. The 5th question, really amusing question. Thank you, Rob, for that one. It's an album that starts and ends with the same letter. People have shown, of course, a lot of different stuff. And I'm going to be really lazy and show Jethro Tull with the album A. It starts with an A and it ends with an A. This is I'm not really sure which release this is, but at least it's on black vinyl and on chrysalis. Question number 6. Someone born in the same year as you. I was born in 1966. I'll be turning 57 this year. It's a bit frightening. I did some research. My best bet on this one is the drummer from Rammstein, Christoph Schneider. I'm just showing you here their first album. This is again, unfortunately, a reissue, but I think it has a really good sound. It comes on 2 black vinyls with some nice labels on 2 of the sides, and then track listing on 2 of the other sides. Yes, there's going to be a lot of cleaning after this. Question number 7. Most listened to album in 2022. It's difficult when you listen to vinyl I try to write down what I listen to, but again, I don't really keep statistics for it. So my best bet would probably be Merciful Fate with Into the Unknown from 1996, or something entirely different, Donald Fagen, The Nightfly from 1982. But it's probably the fabulous band The Meters with their album Rejuvenation, which is my favorite album by them. The album was released in 1974. I have a recent reissue from Vinyl Me Please. I really like this release. And it's on... It also comes with one of the booklets that Vinyl Me Please sometimes release with their albums, and it's on this interesting color. Most listened to question number 8. Most listened to artist in 2022. My best guess is Merciful Fate, and I'll just show you their first full-length album release, which is Melissa. This is an original release with the signatures of Sherman, one of the guitarists, and Denner, the other guitarist. I got this as a present from my girlfriend some years ago. Being an original release with the original inner sleeve, and naturally it's just Music for Nations on black vinyl. Question number 9. An Australian artist or band. I've chosen Bee Gees with the album Main Course, which is from 1975. At this time they had previously released 11 albums. They started out in a completely different style, and this is their first album where they started flirting with the disco, for which most people probably know them. This is just I think this is a UK release on RSO. At least I bought it from the UK. Question number 10. A record people would be surprised you purchased. I've seen a lot of people interpreting this question as a surprise buy from 2022, something that they were surprised about, but I'm just reading the question, a record people would be surprised you purchased. And the record I'm going to show is this one. It's ABBA Greatest Hits. And it's on, I think it's the first Swedish press on Polar. Just like this, black vinyl. And the reason, I mean, it's not my typical style of music, but it was the first band that I really got into, and this album here, ABBA Greatest Hits, is actually the first album I owned. That was on cassette at that time, and it was a birthday present from my parents. I no longer have the cassette. For those of you who don't know me, I should probably say that I am, as usual, out camping, and it's below freezing. So after I'm done doing this video, I'm going to fire up the tent stove and get a little warmth and make some dinner. I'll make the dinner outside so I don't get the food smoke in the tent. But let's continue. Question number 11 is a band that you are complete on, and I have a very modest collection, and I think I'm kind of complete on the released albums by this band, which is Play Dead. I have the First Flower EP, which is a 6-track EP from 1983. I have From the Promised Land from 1984. The nice inner sleeves with their logo. I have that in a couple of versions. Black vinyl with this label. Other version. Black vinyl with a different label. Oh, I just need to get this in the sleeve. Make sure it's in the right. Then I have the live album Into the Fire from 1985. The album Company of Justice from 1985, really great album. They all are. The inner sleeve here. And then I have the live album The Final Epitaph live from 1985. And then I have the album The Singles 1982 to 85, which is from 85. So I actually thought I was complete on the releases, but just checking up on the releases, it actually seems I'm missing a singles album from 86, which is called In the Beginning, a live album from 86, and also an album called Resurrection from 1992. Resurrection is basically an album of remixes of songs from the 1984 album From the Promised Land. So I guess I'm kind of complete. If you don't know Play Dead, you probably don't. I think I'm probably one of the only persons who really like that band. But it was a UK band from Oxford. They were contemporaries of, for instance, Killing Joke, The Cult, and the Sisters of Mercy. The way I perceive their music, or think about their music, it's goth rock. So there you have it. Question number 12. A great run of 3 albums. I'm going to pick the 3 first albums by Blue Oyster Cult, which is one of my favorite bands. So their first album, Blue Oyster Cult, 1982. This is on Columbia. Their second album, Tyranny or Tyranny, I'm not a native English speaker, as you can hear, from 1973. Also on Columbia. And their third album, Secret Treaties, from 1974. It's the inner sleeve for that one. And that's also on Columbia. There you have it. For Blue Oyster Cult, it was a great run of 3 albums, and I really like the band. But this is an example of a band where their first, in my opinion, their first album was not their best. I really preferred Tyranny and Mutation. You probably know Blue Oyster Cult. If you don't, try Tyranny and Mutation and start with the track Wings Wetted Down. But of course, all 3 albums are great. Question number 13. An 80s soundtrack. So, I'm gonna go with the soundtrack to the movie Heavy Metal. This is a fantastic movie from 1983. Unfortunately, a reissue, but still, I got it. I might seek out an original copy at some point. This is one of only 2 soundtracks that I own. The second one being the soundtrack to Blade Runner, which I actually bought after viewing somebody's Vinyltech 2023. So again, here it is. It's on this. Let me see if I can find it. The reissue is on this red vinyl. The album for me was really groundbreaking. It was a catalyst for me really getting into Blue Oyster Cult, with the magnificent track "Veteran of the Psychic Wars" that was featured on this album. That said, all the other songs are great. It's a great and diverse track list. Take for instance Black Sabbath with the power track "The Mob Rules." We have 2 strong heavy metal themed tracks by both Don Felder, surprisingly, and Sammy Hagar. We have Donald Fagen with his allegedly first track after Steely Dan called it Quits. We have Devo's cover of the mid-1960s song Working in the Coal Mine. As far as I know, this is not included on any Devo albums. And there are many more great tracks. Question number 14. We lost them in 2022. I'm gonna go with Michael Lee Aday, also called Meat Loaf. He was the singer in the band, surprisingly, Meat Loaf. Some might consider this a corny album, but it's a great rock album, I think. I also fondly remember Meat Loaf for the role he played as Jack Black's father in the movie The Pick of Destiny. He did a really great job there. This again is a reissue. I think it's I don't know which cover. I don't know where it's on, but here the vinyl is. So, question number 15. Disappointing purchase in 2022. I was not in much doubt when having to answer this question. I've been watching the YouTube channel University of Vinyl, and I really enjoy watching that channel. It's just pure enjoyment watching. And the guy on there, I don't remember his name. He's really been talking a lot about XTC, and especially the album English Settlement. So I decided to buy a UK copy of that. Here is the album in this kind of grained grain sleeve. And I must just say, ecstasy, it's not really for me. Or maybe I need to give it more lessons. Maybe it's as in many cases, some music you just have to start liking when you're young. It's difficult to start liking them when you're older. So disappointed purchase of 2022 Ecstasy with English settlement. So here's the vinyl. So question number 16, non-vinyl purchase, CD, book, etc. So I'm gonna go with this book by Ronald Light. It's called Pedal Culture. It's a book about guitar pedals, and what inspired me to getting this was really kind of an advertisement for the book on Maslow's channel. I'm sure you know the Maslow. So thanks, Maslow. So I actually got this for Christmas from my girlfriend. Question number 17. You found a Grail. So I'm going to show this one, which is Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland. I really like this album. I liked it since I was a teenager, and now I finally I have some other copies of it, but this is a original UK pressing from 1968, the one that they called Ghost Tracklist under blue text. Yeah, so everybody knows this album, but for me it was a grail. Here's the one of the vinyls. It's of course on Track Records. I was at a record show, a local record show, and they had one of the sellers had a bin saying extremely expensive records, and I started looking at that, and fortunately or unfortunately that record was in there. So I checked the price and on Discogs, and it was a fair price. So I decided to get it, and I'm actually really happy that I did. A second grail, or related to that grail, is that actually after buying that one, I actually decided to get the Butthole Surfers with a reference to Electric Ladyland. It's the album called Electric Larryland. So if you like kind of punk or alternative rock music, this one is also one to get. Also, this one is also an original, and they're not cheap. So, but I think it's fun to have. So this is, let me just check. Yeah. So this is the vinyl. And it's actually a 2-disc release, but only with 3 sides. So one of the sides is etched. I don't know if you can see that. Etched with all kinds of stuff. Question number 18. Spaced theme album, sleeve or song. I'm going to go with something that's probably unknown to everybody, almost everybody. And this is a Swedish band called Rymdstyrelsen. That's translated in English to Ministry of Space. This is their album Space is Cold from 2018. I think you could call that. The name Rymdstyrelsen, Ministry of Space, that's space themed. So that was from 2018. And this is the Also comes with a description of the record, and you could also say this is in line with the name of the question, quite a spacey vinyl. I also show their 2020 album, which is called Lunar Mountains. Also with a vinyl in the same vein as the 2018 album. So what's the music like? Yeah, as I said, it's Swedish, and it's some kind of spacey psychedelic stoner rock from Sweden. What's not to like? Question number 19. Show some VCLT, Vinyl Community Love Train, I think it stands for, or present. I don't know. I don't know how you become a member of the vinyl community. I'm just answering this vinyl tag, but I'm going to show a couple of presents. First one is Judas Priest, Killing Machine. I actually got 2 copies of this for Christmas. One from my son and one from my daughter. So I thought they would coordinate, but I got a copy from both of them. I also got for Christmas from my girlfriend's daughter the Hellsongs album, Minor Misdemeanors from 2010. Really great album. The Judas Priest album, Killing Machine, of course, is from 1978. So Hellsongs is a Swedish trio. They do they do covers of hard rock and metal songs, and they do that in a kind of an acoustic or lounge metal fashion. If you can get your hands on their first album, Hymns in the Key of 666, grab it. So question number 20, that's the final question. Show an album released in 1973. I'll show you 2 very different albums, and they're great albums in each of their styles. So the first one is, just gonna get rid of this one. The first one is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath from 1973, a great Black Sabbath album. And the second album is Willie Nelson, Shotgun Willie. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was fun preparing for this. See you next time.